Buongiorno from Italy. So I wanted to start this vlog because we're in Italy for about 9 days, and I'm going to kind of do this as like a travel slash hybrid reading vlog. And I'm starting off today in Pompeii. So we have taken a day trip to Pompeii and looking around the archaeological sites, which is really, really cool. And basically it's amazing, like it's so cool, as you can see behind me. But it is really like a full day out. So I wanted to start the vlog and just like introduce you guys here. So we're doing 2 nights in Naples, 3 nights in Sorrento, and then 3 nights in Positano. And it's our kind of first day here really. We arrived quite late last night, went for a pizza as is customary in Naples, and then just went to bed. And we were up super early today to do Pompeii, as there's a lot to pack in. Like you can do the whole thing in like a full day basically, and we only really have half a day because we want to go to the Vesuvius as well. We've got like a tour booked to go to Vesuvius. So yeah, day 1 of our Italian adventure. I'm also planning on doing quite a lot of reading this trip, which I'll fill you guys in on later because I've got some cracking books on my holiday TBR. But first, let's stroll around Pompeii and just soak it all in. So excuse my appearance. On the hike up here, so we've got a bus up to kind of the park site of Mount Vesuvius, and the rain has been awful. Hence this. Good morning. It is our second full day in Naples, in Italy, in the Amalfi Coast. And today we are having our first proper day in Naples, because yesterday we obviously were in Pompeii and Vesuvius all day, getting caught in that awful rain. It did not stop raining all day, like it was insane. I was like, I did not sign up for this Italian summer getting rained on. Anyway, today we are having a proper full day out in Naples. There's actually quite a lot to do here. Like Naples has got such a bad rep, but actually we were walking around for dinner last night and it was so magical. So we're gonna do a proper little day in Naples. And then this afternoon we are going over to Sorrento. Now this is the part of the trip I've been most looking forward to, because I think like if you just see the TikToks, the Italian summer, like that's what I want, you know? Sipping an Aperol Spritz by the beach, that's what I want. So we are going to Sorrento. We're staying there for 3 nights and then we're moving on to Positano. I thought now I could also talk you through the books that I am reading. So I am reading currently like a million books at once, but the main book I'm reading is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. Now this is kind of a really unusual book in the sense that it's taking on a lot of plot. Like this is basically set in a magical war between 2 gods. And our main character Iris is kind of on the outskirts of that conflict. She lives in this town called Oath, where they're not really involved in the conflict, but Iris's brother has gone off to actually fight in the war on the side of the goddess. So it's a goddess and a god against each other essentially. And Iris works for her kind of town's paper. She is very, very kind of destitute. Her mother is an alcoholic, is clearly struggling a lot. So Iris has to get a job to make ends meet. She dropped out of school. And at her job at the Oath Gazette, she meets Roman Kit, who is this like very like posh rich guy, and basically they are sworn enemies because they are after the same journalist position, where they both want to be a columnist, and they're basically kind of like rivals, and it's super, super fun. But outside of that, Iris is actually communicating with her brother. She's sending him letters, and the thing about this world is like it's magical. Like there's a lot of magic to this world, and Iris sends letters to her brother through this magical wardrobe, which sounds a bit bizarre, but these somehow end up reaching Roman, and he starts communicating back, but she doesn't know who he is, he doesn't know who she is. And you can tell he's like falling for her already, because they have this like rivalry at work, but actually, you know, they're into each other. It's so clear. So yeah, I'm about 50 pages in, really enjoying it so far. Rebecca Ross's writing is gorgeous, and she's just such a good writer, you know. Like, I read A River Enchanted by her, like, was it last year or the year before? And yeah, she amazes me. She's such a good writer. And then I also bought at the airport this book. This is Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is book 1 in the Chestnut Spring series, and right, I've jumped on the hype. I love a cowboy, what can I say? And this series is like cowboy romance, and I'm fed up of like seeing all over TikTok everyone raving about the series. I'm like, I'm gonna enter my cowboy romance era. Like, I'm just gonna do it. So I bought that at the airport, and I have no regrets. So I do want to get to that book. It's going to be such a good beach read, I feel. So I do want to read Divine Rivals quite quickly so I can get on to Flawless. But then I am also reading on my Kindle, because my Kindle's easier to transport, and we're getting a lot of trains and like public transport this trip. But on my Kindle, I am reading False Colours by Georgette Heyer. Now, Georgette Heyer is a kind of historical romance author. She primarily writes about the Regency. This is my first Georgette Heyer, and I thought it would be a lot more kind of romance heavy, but really it's just about like this family who, I don't even know what's going on. I'm like 10% of the way into the book, and I really am not liking it. It's basically about twin brothers. One of them comes back from the war early because he just has the sense that his twin brother is in trouble. And there he literally talks to his mum for like most of the book, like the first like 3 chapters. He's talking to his mum about like how she's in debt and his twin brother has gone missing, to basically help her solve those debts. And I'm guessing that the main character is going to go off in search of his twin brother. Honestly, I just wanted the romance, and I'm getting none of it. So I don't know, I'll see how that pans out. I'm not really one to DNF books. I just don't do it, and I just prefer to suffer, you know? So that's probably what's gonna happen, but I do want to finish that on this trip as well. Anyway, I should probably finish my makeup, and we should probably head out the door. It is 5 to 10 to check out this hotel, done past stuff, so yeah, we need to hurry up. But a full day in Naples is ahead of us. I definitely feel like this vlog is going to be a bit bitty, so bear with, but hopefully it'll give you a sense of our kind of like Italian adventure. Anyway, enough rambling. I need to finish my makeup. So it's our first full day in Sorrento, and we have come to the beach, and yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous down here. The sun is shining, and just going to have a very, very chill day for our first full day. We are going to go into the town later on in the afternoon, probably when it's like hottest, just so we're not like on the beach when it's really, really hot. But absolutely obsessed with Sorrento so far. It's great. are doing a day trip to Capri, which is lovely. I'll fill you guys in later, but it's been like quite a journey. We've already done the Blue Grotto, which you'll have seen before, and now we're just walking through Capri town centre. So we're currently in the Augustus Gardens in Capri, and it's gorgeous, all the viewpoints, and yeah, beautiful weather. So hi everyone, it's been a few days since I've done like a proper talking check-in, but we've just arrived in Positano. I'll give you a little bit of a hotel room tour in a second, but I first wanted to round up the reading because I finished Divine Rivals like 2 days ago, I think 2 or 3 days ago, and instant 5 stars. Absolutely adored it. I kind of hoped that I would enjoy it just because I know a lot of people who have absolutely loved this and raved about it, but it kind of just took me by surprise and I really read it so quickly. So this, if you've never heard of this, is basically kind of like in a world where 2 gods are warring, and it features Iris and Roman, who are rival journalists, like working at the same kind of paper, and then Iris ends up becoming a war correspondent and Roman ends up following her. But in between all that, Iris has this correspondence over a magical typewriter with this boy, and they basically fall in love over letters, and of course that boy turns out to be Roman, and you kind of know that at the start, and he knows who she is, but she doesn't really know who she is writing all these letters to. But it's kind of like giving World War I, World War II energy, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of got like a historical fiction vibe, even though it is set during this kind of like fantasy war between gods in this fantasy world where magic exists as well. And Rebecca Ross is just like quickly becoming one of my all-time favorite authors, so really happy I read this. I finished it on the beach in Sorrento and it was divine, hence the title. It was so good. So I want to quickly update you my next read, which is over here, because I've officially entered my cowboy romance era. What can I say? So I started to read Flawless by Elsie Silver, and I'm kind of like digging how it matches the pink dress. I started reading this yesterday, I think, and I'm already on page 87, so this is reading really quickly. I must say the font is quite huge, so no wonder I'm kind of getting through it very quickly. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, I think it's quite a short book, but honestly, like, I'm liking it so far. I wouldn't say I'm being blown away, but you know me, I'm definitely more of a romantasy fan rather than like a contemporary romance. But hopefully we're going to do a beach day at Positano tomorrow, so I'm going to bring this with me. It's going to be the perfect beach read, and yeah, I'm kind of just like into it at the minute. It's not blowing me away, as I said, but this has been the complete blow away of the holiday. Obsessed with Divine Rivals. So yeah, so far so good on the reading front. I'm quite happy with the progress I'm kind of making, even though it's been a super busy holiday so far, and like I've not really had loads of time to read apart from that like one day at the beach, and we have been kind of like traveling around a bit, and obviously I've been reading on buses, trains, the like. But hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to read and maybe finish Flawless. That will definitely be my goal. it'd be good to like read 2 and a bit books this whole day, I would say. So anyway, first day in Positano, we're gonna go out and about and have some dinner and drinks and just explore some more of the city, well, town. It's obviously like quite a small town, all up on a hillside, which hopefully I'll show you in a sec. But yeah, just loving the Amalfi Coast. This is the life, love it. So yeah, we're here for a few more days and then we head back home. But I'll bring you guys along for the rest of our trip. Okay, so the promised room tour. This is our terrace. Like, I'm sorry, how gorgeous is this? And then look, there's the town up above us. Hopefully you can see that okay. It's just stunning. Yeah, so this is our little terrace. We've got a little table and chairs set up here, which would be nice. And then you come in and yeah, just kind of a desk, TV, lots of cupboard space, and then bathroom. That's me. And then we have the bed here, which is cute. Sorry, our stuff is literally everywhere. But that's our Positano room. Very basic, but also like obsessed with the view and can't wait to get out there. So let's go into town. So we've had a beach day today. It's our second last full day here, and tomorrow is our last full day. It's been an amazing day. We've just been by the beach reading, and I owe you guys a reading update. So everyone, we're back from the beach. It was a lovely day, slightly burnt, but I did finish Flawless by Elsie Silver on the beach. I have read this book in, not gonna lie, like a matter of hours, because I read it for about like an hour, maybe yesterday in total, and I've finished the rest of this 400-page book on the beach. I did mention yesterday the font is quite big, so I reckon in total, like this is probably realistically, I don't know, a 300-page book, realistically, because the font's quite big, but it's my first book from Elsie Silver that I've ever read, and it's book 1 in the Chestnut Spring series, which is basically like small town romances featuring like cowboys. Obsessed. So I gave this book 4 stars. I definitely didn't use a lot of my favorite tropes. Like, it kind of started off with a bit of enemies to lovers, but very quickly they became more like friends. But basically this is about a professional bull rider called Rhett, and basically his agent's daughter, who ends up becoming kind of like a babysitter to him because he's gotten himself in a lot of trouble. All of his like big time sponsors that pay the bills are dropping out, and he needs to kind of repair his image, so she is brought on to basically like get him into line. And of course they end up falling for each other, and it was super good. It was just super fun, like the perfect read by the beach. I'm obsessed. Yeah, it was great. So now on to book 2. I need to read book 2 as soon as I can, but tomorrow is actually our last full day. We're actually about to go into town, into Positano, to just have some dinner, have some drinks, watch the sunset, and I'm wearing like the flounciest, most ridiculous dress. I need to show you. So excuse the mess of the bathroom, but yeah, this is the dress. I feel like it is not the best fitting, but the detail on it is super pretty, like all these little flowers. But yeah, it's a little bit tight around here, but what do you guys think? I think it's quite cute. So we're off for one of our last dinners in Italy, and probably for some gelato as well. we have ventured to Amalfi today. It's our last full day here, and we just explored the cathedral, which is amazing, the Duomo it's called, and we just sat here in this gorgeous little restaurant, pizzeria, that's just covered in lemons and oranges. It's amazing. So yeah, gorgeous day in Amalfi, which is just a little ferry ride away from where we're staying in Positano. So this is Amalfi, and hopefully you can hear me. That's where we've just come from, and in the centre there you can kind of see like the church. Now the church was amazing, the Duomo it's called. Yeah, honestly the church was the highlight for me, because like the history and the art there is so old. I'm talking like the 12th century and stuff, so it was insane. As someone who's like a history fan, love that. Anyway, we're just walking around Amalfi along the coast, and it's a little bit cloudier today, which is good, but yeah, just loving it so far.